Hey guys, Mango here. Look, I'm a gamer, and I'm either sitting at my desk doing work, or I'm gaming. And you know what both of those require you to do? Sit at the table. And I'm starting to realize as I'm getting a little older is I'm living a really sedentary, stationary life. And as a gamer, I am also quite allergic to touching grass. Because of that got me wondering, well, what can I do to live a more fit life? And I actually stumbled upon a video by Austin Evans where he showcased this really gimmicky looking foldable walking treadmill. And I asked myself, wait, that might actually be really cool. I reached out to WalkingPad, the creators of the treadmill, and I asked them for a review unit to check it out because look, being able to walk while gaming sounded like an awesome thing. And let me tell you something, it literally is as cool as it sounds. Well, what do you need in order to use a walking pad? Well, you're going to need something like this, a standing desk. Or if you don't want to game, you could watch your content while using the walking pad, and we'll talk about that. So let's get to walking and talking about the experience of using this treadmill. So as you can see here, there is this on my arm, and this is an ESD grounding a wrist bracelet, and usually it's used when building PCs. What I found when using this in my room where I have a carpeted floor is I generate a lot of electricity. And so to circumvent that, I bought this, I put it to my standing desk, and now I don't get shocked because I was getting shocked a ton before and it was getting annoying. I would feel the discharge and then I would go ahead and touch my DAC amp or my PC and ooh, it was not pleasant. But this solved that. So the walking pad experience is awesome when it comes to firstly rolling it out from wherever I store it and then unfolding it, as this is a foldable treadmill, under my desk and then powering it on through the cable, which just plugs into the front and then you turn on the power. It is such an easy way to just get moving. And so how do you turn it on? Well, here's the remote. You can either use the remote or their app, but you do need to make an account if you go the app route. So if you want to be more discreet, you can just go with the remote. It works perfectly fine. And basically all you need to do is just go ahead and click the button in the middle and it starts as you heard the 3 beeps. And now I am walking. So excuse the walking steps in the background. On the note of the noise, it doesn't generate too much noise. I also had a yoga mat underneath my treadmill just to not only make it sound less loud, but also help give it a layer between the carpet so that there's a little less static electricity buildup, hopefully. You can go between 0 and 6 kilometers, which is equal to up to 3.7-ish miles per hour. And honestly, that's really fast for what this is. Like I mentioned before, WalkingPad did send this out for review, but keep in mind, they are gonna see this review right when y'all do too. And these are my thoughts and my opinions alone. Also, if you enjoyed this video, remember to subscribe to the channel and like the video and share with your gaming homies who need to get a little more active because they are getting unfit. Because let me tell you something, I am absolutely getting unfit and this is really helping me out. So speaking of that, I've had this for around 1 to 2 months. And in that time period, I have accrued over 100 to 200 miles on this. The amount of miles I was usually able to walk on this per session was between 2 to 5-ish. WalkingPad does recommend you walk for 2 to 3 hours, then give the treadmill a break because of the motor inside. But you know, in my experience, if I went a little longer than that, it was perfectly fine. The thing that was most important early on was realizing that A, walking barefoot was not a good idea, and B, I was getting blisters when using normal socks. So what I did is I went out and found the best socks for blistering for me, which was Injinji's toe socks, which they do look like gloves for your feet, but hey, they work phenomenally. And I paired that with some indoor Asics running shoes. Well, they're indoor because I only use them indoors because, you know, using outdoor shoes on this treadmill would just be freaking gross in my opinion. So what's it like to actually game while walking on this treadmill? Well, let me tell you something. It is a little bit of a learning curve because you're adding the whole new element of using your legs while controlling your keyboard and your mouse at the same time. So you're going to take a lot of L's early on, but once you acclimate, it is going to be easier. I played a lot of Valorant and CSGO, tried playing some ranked games in both of the titles, and I did find myself having to stop halfway through games and then, you know, sit down in my chair and then play because it was really challenging to frag out really well whenever I was walking. But whenever I played casually, I had a lovely experience. And then there were games like Halo Infinite, Apex Legends, Fortnite, Overwatch 2. Man, those games are just so fun while walking because you don't need to worry about the technical complexity of strafing. So it just becomes such a chill experience to just walk and just W key while you're fragging out like crazy. Love it so much. It is just so fun to be able to walk and burn some calories while gaming. Dude, if you have a TV, you can either watch content like anime or whatever you enjoy, or you can play your console games while walking, which I actually think might be easier than mouse and keyboard. It is just so satisfying. I really cannot stress it enough. You will enjoy using this while walking. And it's great for your health because not only are you getting your cardio in, you're burning calories, and burning calories means burning fat. From my own experience, I have found that living such a sedentary life, sitting and working and then gaming all at my desk, I don't get a lot of reps in when it comes to, fitness related activities. And I'm lazy. So being able to walk in my room while gaming is just so fun to do. What are some cool quirks and features? Well, one that I did want to quickly mention was that there is a auto shutdown feature where if you step off of the treadmill, after a couple of seconds, it will turn off, which I find really cool. Are there any bad quirks? Well, not really, but there are some things worth mentioning. Firstly, read the manual for the walking pad. It is super important you understand how this works. It'll only take you 5 minutes to read, but if you read it for the 5 minutes, finish that little flip book, you will understand the ins and outs of this treadmill with ease. This is important because the speed of this treadmill is locked initially. And so the way you can either unlock it is through going through their app or by just walking. So if you walk around 0.7 kilometers and then turn off the treadmill and then turn it back on, it should unlock the full range of motion. And that is going to be between 0 and 6 kilometers, around like 3.73 miles an hour. And initially I didn't realize that I had unlocked it, so I kept trying to do the app version and it was being really finicky. So easiest way to unlock the full speed is just by walking. Another thing is that this remote's plastic screen is very fragile and mine has gotten scratched like crazy. So I would highly recommend you just leave that little plastic on this remote, as hopefully that protects it more than mine. The last thing is the way you adjust the belt. Now the belt can move a little bit to the left or the right, but if you find it scraping on either of those sides, you're going to want to use the hex wrench that's provided and twist both sides symmetrically in order to help readjust the belt. If you adjust one side more than the other, you can potentially destroy your treadmill. That's what I did initially and I freaked out, but luckily I was able to recalibrate it and perfect it such that everything is perfectly fine. When it comes to maintenance, actually, I do use a silicone lube and I'll have a link to it down below. And basically I just put some drops underneath the belt and then walk on the treadmill and it's functioning perfectly. Walking and being able to game is so freaking fun. I cannot stress it enough. Honestly, it has helped me push myself and walk a lot more than I was previously. And I am so happy with the impact it has had on my life. It is so fun. So stick around because I'll have an update video in the next 4 to 6-ish months to let y'all know if anything happens. As of now, my experience so far has been fantastic. You can go ahead and buy this from either Amazon or through WalkingPad directly, and I'll have links down below. I think the WalkingPad P1 is one of my favorite devices so far in 2023, and I highly recommend you seriously consider it. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and check out this video that YouTube is recommending you. See ya!